shaking? This is Matty Crypto. We have 1 day left in the donation phase of the Texan token. Look at this right here. 1 day, 9 hours, and 19 minutes. By the time I get this video over to YouTube and you guys take a little peeky peek, you may be looking at, I don't know, 24 hours or less to look at this. So the website I'm looking at right now is texan.cc. texan.cc. I've spoken to Matt and Brandon, Crypto Heartbeat, and Rags to Riches. I'm sure you're familiar with them. If you follow Hex, Pulse Chain, that kind of thing. If you're not, this is a really important step in crypto, decentralization, endowment tokens. If you're familiar with Texas and the vibe they give off with being an independent spirit, I would really encourage you to at least take a look at texan.cc. Learn as much as you can about this crypto coming out. It's going to be launching on Pulse Chain. I'll get into that in just a second. I wanted to just go over really quickly, what is Texan token, and just bring up the importance of, if you want to learn about this, you've got 24 hours. So let's take a look at this at the site here. Again, it's texan.cc. Declare your independence and secure your future. The Texan token is a new crypto endowment token which stands as a financial symbol of independent self-determination. As I mentioned, it's launching on Pulse Chain soon. We're not sure exactly when that's going to launch. It's a Richard Hart project. To me, it seemed like it's 100% complete, and he's just waiting on a couple little things. I don't know if it's market sentiment or waiting for the bottom to come in or something else because of the Ethereum 2.0 launch. He wants to get some kind of consensus. Who knows? But him and his team of developers are working really hard. It's been over a year. Once that is finished and Pulse Chain goes live shortly after that, you're going to see Texan tokens. So on the front page here, it's got an audit, and this has a security audit by a company named Certic. It's got the white paper, tokenomics, a short little 1.5-minute video you can look at. So what is an endowment? So you can look at an endowment as you take your Texan tokens and you stake them, and you can lock them up, and you have the option to never touch the principal, but instead you can scrape the yield off, so your principal just stays locked up. Your yield can be taken out without any kind of penalty, and this is called perpetuity. So you just spend the yield and you always keep the same amount of principal, or you can sell your Texan tokens, just buy more, buy, sell. It's totally up to you. But having this endowment structure in place, I think this is pretty unique. I don't know of another endowment token. Matt, Crypto Heartbeat, said this is the first endowment token on the blockchain, and I think he's right. It's often used just as a way to secure your principal. What else? So initially, this is important too. Initially, when you did this donation phase, you donate this, no expectation from the work of others. It was initially, for the longest time, they said you were going to get 10,000 Texan tokens for every $1 USD that you donate. But now it's going to be 100,000 Texan tokens for every dollar. So this is not an investment of any kind. It's really important to make these points for legal purposes, SEC, and who knows what other kind of government stuff can be involved in this. But to keep things safe, this is not any kind of investment. Obviously, I'm not giving you any kind of financial advice. I'm just telling you what I've learned about and what Texan token is, in my opinion. You're making a gift to a registered 501c4. Yeah, 501c4 nonprofit organization. That's the guys at the Texas National Movement. And you get, when I said 100,000 Texan tokens, you get 100,000 loyalty points awarded by that Texas National Movement. They don't have any value. If you choose to donate to them, you must, as I said, have no expectations from profit from the work of others. But those loyalty points, we're told that I guess you get some kind of airdrop for, if you're holding, let's say you donate $1, you get 100,000 loyalty points, which will then become the Texan tokens. And I would love for people that really, really care about this project to be involved in this. People who really care, people that want to buy and hold. And this makes the Texan token extremely valuable. Anytime it's not like Hex, honestly. It's a lot like Hex, because people in Hex are loyal and they want to delay that gratification. And they prove that by the average Hex stake length is a little over 7 years now. People have delayed that gratification, saying, I've got my Hex, I'm locking it away, I'm staking it. The average length is 7 years. To be able to have an average of 7, the amount of 10, 15-year stakes has got to be crazy, crazy cooter. But let's get back to the Texan token. Endowments are structures managed by a nonprofit charitable organization. Thousands of organizations worldwide use the endowment. Here it is. They created the first crypto endowment token you can use as an individual or organization. So when you stake the Texan tokens, you lock them up in this endowment contract. You earn yield. Some people call it interest, but the better word is yield. And it's programmed into the contract. Base rate is 5% annually, but you can reach a maximum annual average of 87%. That is just stupid amounts of yield. You think about that average every year, 87%, but you got to stake that the maximum time they allow, which is 22 years. This is a smart contract. As I said, it is on the Pulse Chain network. It's immutable. That means it just can't be changed. There's no admin keys. You interact with the contract by yourself with just your wallet. Trustless yield. There's no counterparty risk. Nobody else associated with this. Interest scraping or yield scraping. I mentioned that, how you can stake, lock your principal up, and then if you want to, you can take that if you like to. But if not, you can keep that exact same principal. It never changes. You lock it up, but you can, as that interest is accrued, you can scrape it off, spend it, do whatever you want to with it. It's also deflationary. Texas token is a fixed supply of 100 trillion tokens. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, mercy come running. That's a lot, but it's deflationary. So it deflates over time as the penalties accrue. PRC20, Pulse Chain, you can read about this. A lot of this stuff I've already talked about. I mentioned the security audit by Certic right there. So this is something unique about Texas. I wanted to mention this too. The vibe of Texas and the history. It's a rare example of having the ability to not only survive on its own as a state without the help from the rest of the world or the rest of America, but to actually thrive. And Texas is currently the 9th largest economy in the whole world. One state in America, one state, Texas, 9th largest economy in the world. I don't live in Texas, but I love so much about Texas, their history, the people, they're kind, hardworking, liberty-minded people. And all of us should have that ability to basically be self-governed. You know, I want the smallest government possible. And every 2 years, Texas has something called a legislative session. And every 2 years, that lasts for 140 days. So what is that? 4 or 5 months it'll last. That's it. So they got this really small window. They can present stuff, bills, and basically get that done, 140 days. Hopefully during that session, they can get a bill created that can be voted on, and it can be voted on November of next year. So as I'm making this video, we're looking at, fall, October of 2022, but November of 23 is when they vote on this. So this can be a referendum of Texas becoming an independent nation. And that's not unprecedented in Texas, because in 1836, Texas broke away from Mexico and it became an independent country, a republic, if you will. And then in 1845, they became, as you know, part of the United States. I think they were the 27th or 28th state. So if this happens and the people of Texas claim their independence, imagine what the success of a cryptocurrency like the Texan token could be. In closing, I just wanted to make this point. Crypto isn't for people who just live in Texas, the Texas token rather. It's not just for Texan people. Anyone in the world can own Texas token. If you believe in self-determination, if you believe in being independent and free, and if you don't want the government to be this big monstrosity of bureaucrats telling you what to do, if you want the smallest government possible to have the most freedom, personal responsibility, then you are a Texan. This kind of token, this endowment token, the spirit of Texas, this is for you. There's only 24 hours left. I encourage you to go to texan.cc, learn as much as you can about this project. Tell them MetaCrypto sent you. If you make the decision to become part of this, please reach out to me on Telegram at MetaCrypto. Make a comment in this video. I care about you guys, and I want you to learn about projects that I'm looking into. Crypto Heartbeat, Rags to Riches, Matt and Brandon. These guys are good quality people who wanted to create something that's lasting. It's immutable. It's on the blockchain. Nobody can stop it. We decide how successful something like this can go. And as I mentioned, on this Texan.cc, There's a donation phase right at the very top. It's in red. It currently is just over 1 day left. So tomorrow, Saturday, the 14th of October, this is going to be done. Make a decision, look into this. When you click on the donation phase, you're going to see a disclaimer, read about this stuff and bonding curves and a volume bonus. Don't let this stuff be overwhelming to you. Read about this, learn about it. And I don't want to put haste in a decision because it's a really bad thing to do. But if you're just learning about Texan token right now, do the research. I encourage you to do this. Again, not financial advice, but it's something that I've looked into. I've made my donation. But have a fantastic day, and I will catch y'all on the B.